Ever feel like you're talking to a brick wall trying to get your AI to understand what you want?
Yeah, like it's speaking a different language.
Exactly. Well, get ready to have your minds blown because today we're diving into a whole new approach to AI prompting where, get this, the AI asks us the questions.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And it's all about this idea of prompt engineering, which basically means giving the AI the right instructions to get what you want.
Right, prompt engineering. But how does AI asking us questions actually, work?
So picture this.
Yeah.
You got a problem. Could be anything. Tech issue, creative block, whatever. But instead of you trying to explain it to the AI, it's like, hold on, let me ask you a few things. Like a super smart assistant interviewing you.
So instead of saying, hey, AI, fix my computer, it's more like, hey, AI, can you help me figure this out?
Yes, exactly.
And then it starts asking, like, is it making a weird noise or is the screen flickering? Stuff like that.
Exactly. It's about guiding you to the solution through questions. And you know what's really interesting? George Tum, in his Generative AI Professional Prompt Engineering Guide, he actually says this question-driven approach can be super effective, especially for complex problems where clear communication is, like, essential.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Sometimes I don't even know the right questions to ask myself, let alone, an AI. So, practically speaking, how do we even start? Like how do we prompt the AI to start questioning us?
Well, Tum lays out this really clear template. You basically tell the AI something like, I need your help figuring out your problem.
Yeah, okay, so far so good.
Right. And then you add, ask me questions until you have enough information to identify the most likely causes or something like that.
Oh, interesting. So you're kind of setting the stage but then letting the AI take the lead.
You got it. And you can even be more specific. You can say, like, identify the three most likely causes.
Oh, to tailor it a bit.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this could be useful, but it all feels a bit abstract still. Does
He
Tome give any real-world examples?
he does. He actually gives a bunch. Like,
Yeah.
he talks about using it for diagnosing tech issues, planning events, even things like developing software or creating art.
Wait, hold on. AI asking me questions to help me make art.
I know, right?
How does that even work?
Okay, so say you're an artist and you're feeling stuck.
Uh-huh.
You tell the AI something like, help me develop a concept for my next installation.
And it's going to be like, what's your favorite color?
Well, not quite. You might ask about broader themes you're interested in, what kind of emotions you want to evoke, maybe even the materials you're drawn to, things that get those creative juices flowing.
So it's like having an AI art therapist, prodding you with those insightful questions.
Precisely. And it goes way beyond art. Imagine a travel agent using this. Instead of bombarding you with options, the AI asks, what do you enjoy? What does your dream vacation look like?
This is blowing my mind. It's like we're flipping the script on AI using its power of questioning to our advantage. But let's be real for a second. This all sounds great in theory, but what are the potential downsides? What if the AI's questions are just totally off base?
That's a great question. It's not foolproof. As the guide even says that. Like with anything, garbage in, garbage out. If you give the AI a vague problem, you'll get vague questions back.
Okay, makes sense. So how do we avoid that whole, going down the rabbit hole thing?
It all comes back to prompt engineering. You've got to give context, be super clear about your goals, maybe even set limits on how many questions the AI can ask. It's about finding that balance between guiding the AI and letting it do its thing.
It's a dance.
It is a dance.
We're leading, but also letting the AI take us on this journey.
And when it works, it's pretty amazing.
Speaking of amazing, I actually wanted to hear more about how this applies to something like art, because that really caught my attention. So we're seeing how AI asking us questions can really unlock some creative potential.
Definitely.
But I want to know about something a little more practical, like, say, boosting productivity at work.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Did Tome talk about that too?
He did. He actually said this approach could be huge for productivity in all kinds of fields.
Yeah.
Like, he gives this example of a project manager struggling with delays.
Okay.
And instead of trying to explain the whole project to the AI, the manager just asks for help identifying the bottlenecks.
So it's like the AI is like, all right, show me what you got. Let's break this down.
Exactly.
What are the milestones?
Yes.
Yeah.
And by asking these really targeted questions, the AI can pinpoint those hidden roadblocks that even the project manager might not see.
It's like having an AI consultant right there with you, guiding you through it.
But if
then
the-
that makes me wonder, does this mean, like, our AI is going to replace all the consultants and experts?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
And while AI is getting really good, I think it's more about augmentation,
Yeah.
not replacement.
Augmentation, right. It's not that they're taking over, but they're helping us be better at what we already do.
Exactly. It's all about using AI to boost our own skills.
Mm.
Think more critically, analyze better, make better decisions.
Okay, yeah, that's a much better way to look at it. But, when you talk about it like that, it makes you think, what does this mean for the future of work? Are we all going to be surrounded by AIs, like, peppering us with questions?
Well, I don't think we'll be having coffee breaks with our AI coworkers anytime soon.
Okay.
But you're right, it does change how we interact with technology. We're moving away from just giving commands and expecting, blind obedience.
Right.
This question-based thing is like AI is becoming more of a collaborator.
So instead of us trying to learn AI language, we're teaching them ours.
Exactly.
Mm.
And as these AI models get better, understanding all the little things we mean,
Right.
this whole conversational question-driven approach, it's going to get even more powerful, even more common.
That's kind of exciting and scary at the same time. Like, we're on the edge of something big, but we don't really know what it is yet.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to feel. AI is powerful, and we need to use it the right way. And that means staying informed, staying curious, and really thinking about these changes.
Absolutely. We can't just ignore it and hope for the best. We need to help shape how AI develops, and resources like Tome's Guide, they're a great place to start.
Totally. The more we get how this tech works, the better we can use it.
Okay, so we've talked about how AI asking us questions can help us define problems, but Tome takes it a step further, right? He talks about AI asking these clarifying questions to really make sure it understands what we want.
Oh, absolutely. And this is where it gets really next level.
It's mind-blowing.
It is. It's one thing for AI to ask about the problem itself, but for it to then go deeper and be like, okay, but what are we really trying to do here? That's a whole other level.
Yeah, it's like we've given it the problem and now it's double-checking the assignment before it goes off writing the whole essay.
Yes, exactly. Think about it like this. You're explaining a complex idea to someone.
Okay.
And you're like struggling to find the right words.
We've all been there.
Right. But then they ask a couple of clarifying questions and boom, everything clicks. It's like that, but with AI.
It's like an AI sounding board, helping you refine your own thoughts.
Exactly.
But I'm curious, how does that actually work? Like in real life? Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say you're using AI to help write some marketing stuff for a new product.
Okay.
But you're not quite nailing the tone.
Okay.
So instead of going back and forth forever with the prompt, the AI might ask, can you tell me more about who this product is for?
Ooh, interesting.
What do they care about? What are their pain points? Stuff like that.
So the AI is like a virtual marketing consultant, helping you focus your message.
Exactly. And sometimes these questions grow up things you hadn't even thought about directly.
Oh, wow.
Like the AI is holding a mirror up to your own thought process.
That's pretty incredible. But how do we know the AI is not just throwing random questions at us?
Right.
Like, how do we know it's actually understanding what we're trying to say?
That's where the magic of prompt engineering comes in. If those questions are going to be good, it all comes down to that initial prompt and the data the AI's learned from.
So it's not just about asking any question, it's about asking the right questions, the ones that cut to the chase.
Exactly. And that's why prompt engineering is so important. By being smart about our prompts and fine-tuning the AI model, we can guide it to ask those insightful, clarifying questions that unlock the true potential of this technology.
So we're basically teaching the AI to be like a better listener.
Yeah, to get what we mean, not just what we're saying.
Right. And that's huge because it means we can train AI to actually understand human communication.
Which, used to be something only we could do.
Totally. It's like we're bridging that gap between us and them,
Exactly. And that can lead to some real benefits. Tome talks about productivity, for one.
Okay, yeah. Less time prompting, more time getting things done. I like that. But how does that actually work in the real world?
Okay, so say you're writing an article.
Okay.
And you're stuck on the opening line. Instead of just staring at the screen,
Oh, I know that feeling.
you could use AI, tell it, help me write a killer opening sentence.
Okay.
And then it might ask, what's the main point you want to get across? Or who are you writing this for? Things like that.
So it's like having an AI editor guiding you along.
Exactly. And it works for all sorts of stuff. New ideas, marketing, even personal goals.
Wow. So it's not even just about being faster, but about being smarter about how we do things.
Exactly. Using AI to actually make us better thinkers.
I like it. Well, this has been an awesome conversation, but before we go, I want to bring it back to our listeners. We've covered a lot, so what's the key takeaway? What can people start doing right now with this whole question-driven thing?
Honestly. It's easier than you think. You don't need fancy software or anything. It's all about being more curious.
So it's about how we think, not just the tech itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next time you've got a problem, don't just jump to a solution. Stop and ask yourself some questions.
Okay.
What's really causing
Or
this? Am I making assumptions? What info am I missing?
like taking a step back to see the bigger picture.
Yes. That small change, that willingness to ask, it can make all the difference. Find hidden solutions, challenge your own biases, approach things with a fresh perspective.
It's like they say, the unexamined life is not worth living.
Right. Or maybe the unquestioned problem is rarely solved.
Ooh, I like that. And that's really what this whole deep dive has been about. Real intelligence, whether it's ours or AI's, comes from asking the right questions.
Totally.
Never stop learning. Never stop digging deeper. Well, on that note, we'll wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. A huge thank you to our expert for joining us and sharing all these amazing insights.
It was great being here. Thanks for having me.
And to all our listeners, check out George Tome's Generative AI Professional Prompt Engineering Guide to dive even deeper into this stuff. Until next time, keep those questions coming, keep exploring, and keep on diving deep.